This is Scott Becker with the Becker Private Equity Podcast. Today's discussion is tennis and golf, a short story that probably has some analogs to life, but I'm not going to try and be that deep. So first of all, in tennis, you will often see players who every single time they miss a shot give a very long stare at the racket as though the racket is possessed by demons. You see this almost every day. When I'm on vacation in Florida, which I'm currently on, I see this almost every day. Somebody misses a shot and literally stares at the racket as though the racket caused the problem. Now, those of us that have played long enough and are self-aware enough often realize it's not the racket, it's us. There's an old phrase, it's not the sword, it's the warrior, whatever it is. Very similar to these things. It's really not the racket. You give a bad racket to a great pro, and he's still going to whip guys like myself every single day. Another thing that tennis players do, or paddle players do, or any couple sports do, is when their partner hits a shot they shouldn't hit, some partners will roll their eyes or blame their partner. Again, this is not one of my great problems, but I'll talk about my problem in a second. One of my partners, and not to name him, but the initials are MB, will always take shots he shouldn't hit. He's a great athlete, but take shots he shouldn't hit. And one of his partners, AC, rolls his eyes every time Mark hits that shot and shrugs his eyes, and it's fun to watch. Patented. That's not something I do. That's not one of my faults. But here is one of the things that I do that is one of my faults. I'm one of those golfers that has never come out of a golf round or practice not thinking that now I have it. Now I have the answer to my awful golf game. That answer often involves buying some new club or some used club. Yesterday, again, I practiced well, and I figured the thing I really need is this one club, and that's going to make the difference. Yesterday, I again succumbed to that impulse. Thus, again, after that, for about 30 minutes, I think I now have the secret of golf, and I've mastered it. But like someone who has a vice, who struggles with that vice and needs a 12-step program, I'm sure I'll be back to the drawing board very soon. When I was a younger person in my 20s, we would drink on Saturday night with our friends, and by Sunday, I'd be like, I'm never doing that again. And then, of course, by the next weekend, we'd be partying again. But again, I was a kid. It's a long time ago. Please excuse me. I don't want to offend anybody. But again, by Monday, I was like, I'm never doing that again. And that's how I feel about golf club purchases today. There could be a lot worse midlife habits and problems. But for today, as I've bought this new club, I am somewhat like the Chicago Cubs. I've started the day like I do every year with the Cubs, singing, "This is the year," and I brim with optimism. We'll see how long that lasts. Again, that's a short story on tennis and golf today. I hope some of you enjoy it. Again, it's not really business-centric. I try and turn it into a business barrel, but I'm not sure it is. Again, 773-766-5322 with any comments. Read the book at Amazon, Blocking and Tackling, 60 Keys to Building a Business and Managing Your Money. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you take something out of it. Thank you for listening to the Becker Private Equity Podcast.